how this morning was supposed to go. Just about to like film and say how nobody's on the roads this morning. It's so quiet. Cops are still working. Based on the movement of the pen I just saw in my mirror, I don't think I'm getting away with this.
Drove you for the minimum for that driving tier.
Okay.
Don't get any more.
Yeah.
Who's Jasmine?
It's just like a joke.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like, you know, have you ever, you know, like the rice, like jasmine rice?
Yes.
So every time like people build cars like this, it's just like a thing, you call it rice.
It's rockets.
Yeah, so
Gotcha.
Then I was like, this is at least a nice one, so I called it jasmine.
Tokyo drift.
Yeah, thank
there
you.
you go.
Thank you. Oh man, he was at least kind of cool. He was like asking about what's Jasmine, who's Jasmine. God damn it. Alright, well, that was one of the dumber tickets I've gotten. I wasn't even really doing anything wrong. It was a brand new construction zone, and I was doing 88 in an 80, but because, oh my god, because it's a construction zone now, the speed was decreased to a 60, and I didn't realize that. So technically I was doing 88 and a 60. Got pulled over like a couple weeks ago and I got a bunch of warnings. He kind of like saw that I just got a bunch of warnings and got let off the hook and didn't let me off the hook. What I did want to do was this morning I was just driving around. I'm like, there is no one on the roads. I was gonna say it to you guys, like this whole meme that we're living in right now. Like, I know everything's kind of like a joke and everybody's treating it like a joke, but at the same time, I just want you guys to all be safe because yes, it's a joke. There is also people who are affected by this. Obviously, that's why everything's being closed down. Don't want to treat it like too much of a meme and start, you know, actually causing problems. So I just want everybody out there to be safe and stay alive so that you guys don't miss new YouTube videos, because if you're not here, you can't watch them. Anyways, this morning we have a huge mess in here. I ran around and did a couple errands yesterday because apparently everything's gonna start closing down. Some places things are already completely closed down, like Ontario's like shut off. I know a couple places in California are like shut off. And we just closed all schools and everything here in BC, and I know that there's like a couple things that are gonna be closing, gonna be shutting down. So yesterday I just ran a bunch of errands and things that I needed to get done before everything closed. One of those errands was insuring the BRZ again because my plates actually expired about a month ago. So I renewed that because my lower control arms finally shut up yesterday, dude. Best thing ever. And then I just did a bunch of other stupid errands and stuff. But today, what I wanna do is I just want to start really going crazy on this Opel. And if you guys are here or found the channel because of the Opel or just enjoying this, if you're watching this right now and you're not subscribed, just go ahead and subscribe. That lets me know that you guys are interested. It lets you guys get updates on new videos, and it shows everybody else that comes to the channel that like they see 200,000 subscribers, but what if I actually have like 230,000 but you guys just aren't subscribed? You know what I mean? It shows them we're just a little bit more serious, and it helps all of us out and the whole channel grow. So definitely subscribe if you guys are not already. Just gonna start going absolutely nuts on this thing. Hopefully Brad can show up later and finish up some of this wiring because he has this all figured out in his brain and I totally don't. Derek is supposed to swing by at some point today with some pieces that we're missing. But hey, it's a good day to have a good day, so let's make some progress. That's not gonna work. What you guys saw me take off was this two pieces of wood, I guess. And pretty much what this was when we bought this car, or Derek got this car, it was an automatic. But the original one, like his father-in-law is the one that we're rebuilding it for, his was a manual. So you'll see these brackets here are for the automatic transmission, but they don't line up at all with this right here. This is for the manual transmission. So he literally just cut that thing out of wood and then got someone to make him a little bracket right here, which should do the trick. So we can cross off drive shaft, transmission bracket is being painted, gas tank is up. And these are the tricky ones, because like assembly, I just don't know exactly what's left. So it's more of a guessing game than anything really. Derek actually just showed up and he brought me the old radiator and a couple other things. He brought me like the intake piece for over top of the carb. So he brought me like this thing, which actually has a brand new air filter in it, which is kind of nice. He brought me the steering wheel, a couple other just like odds and ends pieces. But something I just want to make really clear, because I was just eating lunch and I was reading some of the comments from yesterday's video, and this car is for him to drive. Like, this car is going back to the original owner, who's like gonna be 73, 74 years old, and he just wants to drive it. He does not care. Like, all the cleaning and all that stuff that has been done is beyond a lot of what he needed, right? Like, he just wants this thing to run and be able to drive it, and I was literally just told to get it running. Like, he doesn't care if things are like a little bit rusty or look a little bit weird. Like, obviously, we're gonna buy a new fuel filter because this one's old. I just put it here so I know where it goes. Things like that, but he told me just like, get it together, get it running. You know what I mean? Like, this is meant for him to be able to drive around and have fun. With that being said, something I just realized was that I got the distributor to what I think is the right layout for these spark plugs in. I got a couple hoses around, like the brand new rad hoses are here, and then I think this is the correct fuel hose. A lot of this stuff it's impossible to find in the manual, and I'm kind of just basing it off of the photos I can see. And then I'm just sitting here like contemplating life. I just read that book, like a lot of that book, and I was just trying to figure out like where a lot of this stuff goes, because there's so many ports here that like I just can't figure it out. And yeah, the manuals are good on like big things, but a lot of the manuals aren't even telling me like what this port does, what this port does, where it goes. Like, I don't know what this stuff does. So I think what we got to do is just continue to keep building it and just try and connect things that start to make sense. This looks like the fuel pump, I believe. Minty. This thing actually looks like relatively new, which is nice. I like finding parts in here that like aren't super old. Kind of gives you the confidence to just use them. Drop this guy in here. Put a gasket. Very frustrated, which doesn't normally happen when I work on cars. I don't know. Normally when I'm working on cars, I'm like having fun, and I think my fun ran out about an hour ago. I don't know how long it's been time-lapsing or how long I've put in the video, at least of the time-lapsing, but it's been time-lapsing for quite a while, and basically I've just been making lines. The one I can't figure out right now is I got these two lines that like they have been in the same shape for their entire lives, so they kind of just fit in, right? This one comes up and goes right here on top of the distributor, which is kind of weird, but that's what it does. And then this one, you can see it in the photos over here, but by the time it gets over here, it's completely gone. And that would mean it just kind of like tucks down and does one of those. But where's it going when it does that? Because there's nowhere for it to... Very confused. Might have just found it. See? I knew I should film. Sometimes just talking to you guys makes me do like a little extra where I'm trying to show you guys on the camera, and it makes me find things. I love this. Oh my God, thank you for going on. That sucked big time. Forgot my water bottle at home today, so I'm drinking water out of a coffee mug. Stay hydrated. I also added this. It says to put a restrictor at the end, like just this much at the end, but because of the hosing situation that I have, I made the restrictor like this long, so it's good, it works. Brad just showed up after his long day of work that's almost canceled.
Yeah, because of the virus. I never said it, that's why
I know, it's so stupid. You can't even say it in the video or they'll just take it down, so. Anyways, what are you doing right now?
I'm trying to figure out how the heck I can wire this starter up and the alternator, because this is just, so much doesn't make sense. Like, it's nothing like it is today, and I've never worked on anything this old. So when I get wires, like a whole bunch of wires like this, and they need to go to places that I'm not used to them going, I'm super confused. So I'm just trying to figure out where I can get super old German diagrams. This is just driving me nuts.
But mainly the wiring has to get figured out before we can do much else. I pooched it. No. Brad, can you pull that thing out? Oh, dude, come on.
Just gonna need another touch up.
Jeez. That's the worst. At least it's almost dry.
Still
That's
kind of
just
sticky.
It's a little sticky, but God damn it. Trying to shut the door in a rush and the thing's been drying all day, like since like 9 this morning. And I go ahead and pooch it. Tear down 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
We're only running cash right now. Thanks for understanding.
Hey, no problem.
The bank is right there. You gotta drive up.
Yo, it smells like poop right here.
You gotta drive up.
Who's driving?
I'm in the back seat. I don't know. Apparently I'm in the back.
Should I take my airbag? My seatbelt off?
Hey, you gotta lean over.
Can I get a card?
Can you pull up so I'm at the window?
Oh, okay. I guess we could.
Oh, thanks, guys.
Count it. Don't. What are you, an animal?
Well, what are you gonna do if it's not right?
You
go
gonna tell
inside.
the machine?
20, 40, 60, 80, 110. 110?
She said 106.
Yeah, I'll keep the change.
Yeah, okay, thanks. You can't even go to the counter because they have like a social distancing thing, so you have to stay like 3 feet away from the counter. And then as we're in line, I didn't film it because I didn't know it was gonna happen. She comes over the thing and she's like, oh yeah, our systems, because they're closing down everything, right? Like we're literally in the beginning of an apocalypse right now. So they're closing this down and they shut off the system so they only take cash for the rest of the night and then they probably won't even open tomorrow.
Yeah, let's go.
So, luckily there's a bank.
Why are you running,
You ran! You see? Dick? Luckily there's a bank. We had to run to the bank and get cash because it closed in like 5 minutes. Do we get an extensive discount for the labor we just had to go through?
We just ran.
I'm so sorry, but no.
All right, so I was trying to film the steering wheel and everything just went right to hell. The steering wheel is like a huge pain. It was a pain when we took it off the other day. You guys probably didn't even notice that I took it off because I didn't put it in the video because it was the worst thing I had to do. And then what did you do while I was doing that?
Are all the wires done?
We're basically to the point where we decided we could try and crank it over. Like I'm not expecting this to run tonight. I didn't even think we were gonna get to this point. But then there was a good point that we were like really close and everything is starting to close down like I was already saying. Bought an oil filter and then we just got like some extra wiring connections. I got a couple nuts to hold on. When I wrote down on the list the other day that I needed the nuts, I picked them up. So they were saying 1030 is what it recommends, but everybody was saying no, run 2050 because it's better.
Yeah, they're getting low oil pressure.
So we met them in the middle and we got 1540. Kind of weird, but like they didn't have the 2050, so we got 1540, pretty close. Worst case, just to get it all running and get it going, and then if someone wants to do an oil change and change it out, they can do that.
I'm finding a little bit of an issue.
What?
So the main fuse block doesn't have a power wire.
I was gonna just show you guys like us just messing around for a long time because this wiring stuff sucks and it's hard. And the thing is that this wiring harness is like, I'm pretty sure Derek bought it for an Opel Manta, but it's more of a generic wiring harness. Like it has wires that this car doesn't need, and some of them are too long, some of them are a little bit short. So we can tell just from looking at it that this thing is like maybe does 4 or 5 different cars and this is one of them.
They can't really see it, and it's just super tedious stuff. It's better just to explain it.
Yeah, you can still do it. I just want to hold the ignition up. Okay. So the ignition has these wires on the back of it and then this one on the side, and then the wiring harness that we have to work with
they've seen
essentially
this rat nest, right?
Oh yeah, they've seen all the wires down there. And then essentially it has these plugs, so there's 2 of them, and they don't plug into anything that we have, and they don't plug in to anything at all. That's what I'm saying is like maybe that the plugs are for something else, or
I have experience with wiring. If you guys don't know what you're doing, like to an extent, maybe like you might know more than me, you might know less, but I wouldn't recommend doing this where you're just kind of trying things because it can start fires and it's not really safe.
Yeah,
like
you can blow things right up.
Absolutely, and I know like I know more than the basics. Like I know what I'm doing. It's just, I say I don't when I'm confused. Like I'm confused, I know what I'm doing though.
Yeah, well that's like me too. I'm always like, today I don't know what we're doing, but we're gonna send it. But like obviously we have a general idea. We're not idiots, we are idiots, but you know, like we don't claim to know everything because we don't, but we're doing our best with what we do know. I don't know if this actually goes. No, see the fuel pump just has this weird little nub. So where should all these plugs be going then for the fuel pump?
Well, we need to
Or is the fuel pump literally the thing that's in the engine bay? Remember we were so confused?
We said there's one in the back and the front.
Well, I assumed that that's what this was. That, again, because I'm used to fuel pumps being here. Maybe this isn't it. Maybe this is just a sending unit.
That's probably just the sending unit.
So then this thing probably pulls gas all the way up. So maybe this thing needs power, but this thing doesn't have any power options. Pump is removed. Fuel will drain back into the tank. Pump is driven off the distributor drive shaft.
There we go.
Boom, baby! Let's put some fluids in this pig.
Yeah, she's ready to roll.
I can almost guarantee that there's oil coming out of somewhere. I just can't figure out where yet. Oh, the oil filter stopped! We're gonna put it on. Woo-hoo! I had a feeling. When I was saying it because I had a feeling. What is with your stang face, boy?
Hey, you stop that. I'm concentrating. Still gotta wire up the fan. Don't let me forget that. But we'll
The fan's a clutch fan, dude. It's on the pulley. When the engine turns, the fan goes. There's a lot of wires that we don't need.
Yeah, okay.
Something farted. That was a good fart too. Dude, she thirsty. All right, coolant is full, oil is good. What did the instructions say? Take out the spark plugs.
Yeah.
Or do you want to just disconnect them?
You gotta take it out.
Why?
Because otherwise pressure will build.
Oh,
You just
true.
want to let the oil flow.
All right. Now we really don't even know if it's gonna turn over.
I know for a fact it will not turn over.
Why?
We don't have a battery.
Well, that's easy to solve. All right, move it or lose it.
Okay.
Incoming.
Relax here.
Hey, you get your stuff out of the way. This is a heavy battery, dude.
We got one of them key things.
Keys. For you. Hey, just do me a favor. Don't blow it up, right?
3, 2, 1.
Fire it up, Terry. You're wasting time. We got nothing?
Whole lot of nothing.
No. It is 2:46 the next day now. It was just like repetitive us like plugging different things in and trying different things. We couldn't figure it out to save our life. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's gonna work. I found in the service manual, which we weren't using. Hello, I'm colorblind. So this doesn't really help me, but essentially the wiring harness we had, it didn't do its job. I started making my own diagrams of what I thought needed to be done. This is just one that's super simple, but just so you guys can understand. So I'm not gonna show you guys this too much in depth because I don't even know if it works. This is all we filmed last night. Us getting to the end, being all nervous, and then the final spin. No, figured it out. 4:21 now. Just to give you guys a time update, listen. That's what we want to hear. This is, people call this like an earth strap for an Opel because apparently Opel's really old and that's what they call it. I don't know. Bolts to the car. This grounds the entire block. There isn't one on this car. There should have been one on this car. I just assumed it was there. Like, you know what I mean? It's something that so little that I have never, ever had an issue that related back to the engine ground strap.
Bobby, how you feel?
Hey, buddy.
Get this bad boy running yet?
I got something to show you here.
Is it a good thing or a bad?
Made a chassis ground that goes from down in the frame there, comes up here and grounds.
That's one thing we didn't
It's
have.
impossible for it to see it, but it's there. And then essentially what I did was, this is a new pink wire, goes straight to the starter.
Starter or ignition?
No, the ignition, sorry.
Okay.
This runs to the distributor, and then this one goes to the starter. This one goes right to the back of the ignition, off the starter.
Okay.
And then this one splices from here to the alternator and also to the back of the ignition.
So we never had anything right.
We had it right,
It was close?
but somewhere along the transition in the fuse box, it's not making sense.
Okay.
So I just did it this way. This is just the new way it's being done. I just told them, like, last night we were here for like hours, today we're here for hours, and all you do is turn the key and you just get. Hell yeah, baby. Dude. I just got this like 20 minutes ago. I was so fired up.
good.
That's the longest I even cranked it. Because now we got to do the whole break-in shebang.
Hopefully she'll start.
All right, we just went to Lordco really quickly, picked up a oil pressure gauge. This thing was like the cheapest one we could find because we literally just need it for like testing purposes. We don't actually need the oil pressure gauge. So we tapped it in right here, right at the bottom where we think should be good. This is a direct shoot right to the oil filter. So hopefully that is good. Are we ready?
Yeah.
I think we're ready.
Yeah.
So we got to crank it a few times, establish oil pressure, then we can put the spark plugs in, and then start it and let it run. Do we want to move it near the door when we start it and let it run for about 5-10 minutes like it says? That way we don't smoke the place out in case it runs like real rich or something.
You know what we gotta get?
A tube. All right, it's spun around. It says build oil pressure and then run for 10 minutes. So we're just gonna leave it halfway outside just to let it run and stink out the world instead of me.
3, 2, 1.
So it's gonna move around a lot because the transmission brace isn't on yet.
Okay.
But it's okay.
All right.
We're not gonna drive it anywhere, we're not gonna do anything, but it will move around a lot. Feeling like the fuel situation's not happening. Don't start it yet. I'm not smelling any gas.
That'll be a problem.
We took the fuel filter off because we thought it might be the fuel filter, but when we looked at it, we realized this thing's actually brand new. I don't know if the camera's gonna be able to see in there. This filter has never seen a day of use in its life. It's probably been put on and then left, yeah, like left to die. So we're assuming the problem is further away. The line off the gas tank here, and I am just gonna fire air into it and see if anything comes out the other end, because that's something I never thought of. We said this car was from California, and it had been sitting for a long time.
If there's even the slightest hole in the fuel line anywhere, it'll be sucking air instead of fuel.
Instead of fuel, right. So we gotta look for leaks and look for stuff coming out the other end. So are you ready?
Yep.
1 sec.
Oh, that was dry. That was gross.
Was it air?
Yeah, air's coming through.
I already found a leak right here.
Good, another leak.
That's exactly what we want.
Yep, another one.
So we just gotta take these guys, get them all dialed in under here. New hose here. We got a new hose up there. We got a new hose here. And I'm pretty sure Brad replaced this entire end piece, right? Yeah. We also put this plate underneath. I painted this thing. I painted the top side, thankfully. So the engine was shaking a lot. I really didn't like it when we were trying to start it. So this actually raised the engine at least an inch, maybe 2.
Not really raised,
but it just leveled
fixed
it.
the end, like the angle.
Yeah, and it should be a lot more solid. So what's nice is I painted the top side already and the side, so I can just come back under here tomorrow and just paint the underside while it's already on the car. Well, there's no fuel coming out in here, which I would assume I would be able to see. No fuel there. No fuel came out of the line when we did it. All the lines are new. The tank has no holes. We went back over to the tank and we checked out the tank. There's no holes or anything in the tank for missing lines, ports, plugs, sensors. The system should be complete, so we're thinking it's a bad pump.
Yeah, because no gas is getting from the tank to the pump. So there's a problem in between there. So nothing's sucking it. And the only thing that would be sucking it is the fuel pump.
Yeah. So the only option now is to get a fuel pressure gauge. We can't go get the sensor now or the gauge now because everybody's closed. And we just don't want to keep cranking it too much because it said in the instructions not to do that because the motor's freshly rebuilt and apparently it's not good for it. I really wish it started for this video.
Yeah.
Because this is 2 days worth of content. This is a long video and we didn't even get it started.
Yeah, I know.
Unfortunately, we're not gonna get it running tonight. It's just too late. We've spent so long on this ancient beast trying to get it to go and we just can't. So that's gonna be where we leave this video off because there's already so much content for you guys. I can't just make it another day.
Next video will be running.
Well, yeah, we can't make a video unless it runs. That's pretty much it. Like we're almost out of stuff to do. That's all we're gonna have for you guys today and yesterday. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully we get this figured out in the next one. I'll catch you guys next time. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace out and stay committed.